Hello, welcome back to Night Fever episode 14. My name is Jenkins and this is a match reaction to Auckland's 1-1 draw with Brisbane Roar at Mount Smart Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Let's get into it. And welcome to the show. Coming into round 5, there was a lot riding on this home match for Auckland FC. We were still unbeaten early in the season, having built momentum in the first 4 rounds. That said, there were significant absences. Hiroki Sakai, Brimmer, Hall and Rogerson all unavailable for this clash. On the Brisbane side, it's a new era under coach Michael Valkanis, and the Roar have shown renewed purpose. So from Auckland's perspective, there was an expectation to dominate at home and press on, but the lineup disruptions made for uncertainty, a key point for us fans going in. An hour before the match, the lineups were announced. Auckland FC continuing again with a 4-4-2 formation, the formation of choice by Corica. Goalkeeper Michael Vau kept his place in goal. The defence, we saw Elliott at right back, Goodwood Reich partnering Pijneke at centre back. Pijneke, his first start of the 25-26 season, following Hall's suspension for a red card at Wellington Phoenix. Francis de Vries, back from international duty, started at left back. In midfield, Lachlan Brook, the in-form Aussie, he was on the right. Louis Verstraete partnering Gallegos for the first start this season. Jesse Randall, also back from international duty, out on the left. Forwards, Guillermo Mai and Sam Cosgrove leading the line up front. So there was some tinkering going on with the starting lineup due to suspensions and injuries. Also, the international returnees, De Vries and Randall, may add some tired legs to the starting lineup. On Brisbane's side, they also lined up with a 4-4-2 formation. Dean Bouzanis in goal, the defence, James McGarry, Harrington, Valkanis and Salas. Across the midfield, Klein, O'Shea, Stacic and Vrakas. Up front, Roos and Vidic. Compared to previous weeks, the big talking points was Sakai's continued absence, Dan Hall's suspensions, with fans watching to see how Corica would reshuffle the defence in their absence. Setting the scene at Mount Smart Stadium on Sunday, it was a sunny afternoon, a crowd attendance of 12,379 cheering on from the sidelines. Not a sellout, but still a solid turnout for round 5 in still a developing fan base. The Port faithful were loud and optimistic, the energy, the chance and a sense of urgency, but must watch out for mistakes kind of a game, especially given how Brisbane were pressing under their new coach. The attendance slightly up from the previous home match, but still way down on the average of last season. Hopefully we can keep building the attendances at the stadium to be that all-important 12th man to get Auckland FC over the line. Right from the start, both teams showing intent, but Auckland struck first in the 18th minute. Lachlan Brook won a free kick, stepped up and curled a beauty into the top right corner, right in front of the Port fans. The keeper, Bouzanis, he got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. It felt like a dream start, Brook's first goal of the season, and what a way to do it. But Brisbane didn't back down. They grew into the game, especially in the mid-30s. With Michael Roos being a real spark, he forced a couple of chances, one of his shots hitting the crossbar. In the first half stoppage time, Roos threaded a pass, splitting Auckland's defence to Justin Vidic, who calmly slotted it past Michael Vau. So by the break, it was 1-1, a deserved equaliser and momentum shifting. The worst possible time to concede is just before half-time, showing a lapse in concentration from the Auckland defenders, not quite gelling the way they have in the previous 4 matches. Into the second half, the match felt tighter, more scrappy, and Auckland weren't able to replicate the early momentum after the free kick goal. Brisbane kept pushing, but Auckland's defence, despite missing some key figures, held firm. There were no more goals, but a few tense moments. In stoppage time, Francis de Vries took a free kick that rattled the crossbar. That one could have been the winner for us. Coach Steve Corica, he later admitted he wasn't happy, calling the performance one of the worst since he's been in charge. He said that while Brook's goal was a silver lining, overall the team let themselves down. So the final score, a 1-1 draw against Brisbane Roar. Very frustrating for the home crowd, seeing the team not come together as well as they have done previously. And going through the team, Michael Vow in goal, solid enough, made some routine saves, but beaten by a well-placed fidget shot. I'll give Michael Vow a 6.5 out of 10. He did get the ANZ Man of the Match on the weekend, but I feel there were other players who are better contenders for that award. Callum Elliott at right back, he worked hard, defended well when needed, but sometimes lacked support going forward. 6.8 for Callan. Jake Girdwood-Reich, a steady presence, but he got pulled by Ruse movements at times. Nando Peinecker, his first start of the season, commanding in the air and managed to snuff out several dangerous balls. 6.7 for Peinecker. Francis de Vries, a strong shift and nearly won it with that late free kick that hit the bar. 7.5 for Francis. Lockie Brook, man of the moment. That free kick was world class and deserved the lead. For me, Lockie Brook is the man of the match, showing great intent throughout the game. 7.7 out of 10 for Lachlan Brook. Louis Verstraete in midfield, he did a lot of the dirty work that often goes unseen. He linked the defence and attack well. 7.4 for Louis. And Gallegos, quiet but disciplined, kept possession steady and looked for forward passes. A 6.6 for Gallegos. Jesse Randall out on the right. He worked hard on the flank, though didn't produce a huge moment. 6.6 for Jesse. Guillermo held the ball decently, but lacked support at times to really hurt them. 6.3 for Mai. And Sam Cosgrove, a physical presence, but didn't really get a clear shot on goal. A few controversial moments for the Englishman, who stayed on the field with a yellow card before getting substituted late on. 5.9 out of 10 for Cozzy. The substitutes on 53 minutes, we had a double substitution. Gillian coming on for Randall, Howison on for Gallegos. I give Gillian 6.4 and Howison a 6.7. In the 72nd minute, Bidwar came on for Mai. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. And Middleton, he was on in the 83rd minute for Cozzy, getting a 6 out of 10 rating. Taking a look at the key stats from the match. Auckland FC had 43% of possession against Brisbane's 57. Shots-wise, Brisbane out on top again with 16 to Auckland's 12. 4 of which were on target for Brisbane, 2 on target for Auckland. Corners-wise, a bit more equal. Brisbane 6, Auckland 5. And in the foul department, Auckland FC putting in 19 against Brisbane's 16. Of the goalkeepers, Michael Vow was kept the busiest with 3 saves to Brisbane's 1. Passing accuracy, 71% for Auckland, 77% for Brisbane. Both teams getting a yellow card each. Tackle percentage, only 60% for Auckland. Their lowest of the season so far. Brisbane with a more respectable 77% tackle accuracy. The XG saw Auckland with 1.04, Brisbane 1.44. The man of the match, though subjective, I'll lean towards Lachlan Brook. That free kick was not just the goal, it was a momentum grab. Without it, Auckland would have been chasing the game. The table now sees Auckland drop off top spot. Sydney are now in first position, a point better off than Auckland following their big blue win over Melbourne Victory. Brisbane sit in 5th place on 8 points. In the season so far, Auckland have scored 6. Only 4 teams have scored fewer than Auckland. Macarthur, Western Sydney Wanderers, Perth and Melbourne Victory. But they do have the joint best record in defence, conceding only 3, along with Sydney FC and Brisbane Roar. So what do we take from this? Auckland's resilience matters. Even when we're missing big names such as Sakai and Hall, the squad can absorb pressure and still come away with a point. Set pieces are a weapon. Brook proved once more that dead balls are not to be underrated. If we can keep creating those chances, it's a real strength. We need more consistency. Corica was right to call the performance poor. Dominating early is great, but we need to sustain that quality across the 90 plus minutes. Defensive depth is being tested with absences. Our backline was stretched. We need to ensure the squad is ready for such days. Brisbane's threat under Valkanis, they're not to be taken lightly. Their intensity, especially in the first half and in transitional moments, is growing. The impact for next week, I expect Corica might tinker with subs more proactively, especially late in the games, to try and turn those draws into wins. Brook is a certainty to keep his starting spot. He's proving to be a game changer. Defensively, we might reshape a little bit differently next weekend. For Brisbane, the draw will feel like a statement. They can play away, they can take points, and they might be building something. Auckland FC take on Newcastle Jets next weekend, Sunday at 3 p.m. Newcastle Jets are off the back of 3 defeats in a row, and last weekend they lost to Perth Glory 2-1 at home. For Brisbane Roars, they're back at home and they'll take on Melbourne Victory Friday night at 9:35 New Zealand time, 6:35 Brisbane time. And Victory are coming in off 2 losses in a row with a 3-0 away loss to Sydney in the Big Blue. Overall, a point is not a win, but we'll take it. It keeps us unbeaten. And while the performance wasn't clean, there are flashes to build on. As fans, we know this season is a marathon, not a sprint, and moments like Brook's free kick and De Vries' last-minute effort reminds us of the quality we have. Thanks for tuning in to Night Fever for this post-match breakdown. I'll be back in a few days' time with a match preview to this weekend's home match against Newcastle Jets. If you enjoyed the episode, hit follow, leave a review, or send us your take. Were you as frustrated as Corica or more optimistic? Either way, let's keep the faith. I'm Jenkins, and until next time, up the port, up the Black Knights, and goodbye for now.